Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. Anthony Stabile and Andy Serling as we kick off what's going to be a two-day race week, as we have already canceled Friday and Saturday's card. Expected very cold temperatures as well as extreme wind.
This is our only day together this week.
Oh yeah, I'm not here Sunday. Well,
I'm looking forward to Sunday.
okay.
Paul Veterosa will be filling in for you. I know Paul since we're 13 years old.
Really?
We went to
He's a
junior
lucky
high school
guy.
together.
Really?
We
I
bowled
didn't know
together.
that.
Yeah, Paul and I
I
went
didn't
to junior high school together, high school. We used to bowl together in some leagues and
There
in
you
high school
go.
together. So
Paul works with us
that'll
in
be
the
fun. Yeah.
TV department. Good guy. Looking forward to that as well. Looking forward to being sleeping actually late too. So there's that. Anyhow, but we will be open for simulcasting if you come out to Big A, and we'll be doing America's Day at the Races covering Tampa and Oaklawn on tomorrow and Saturday, 3 to 6 tomorrow and 3 to 6:30 on Sunday. We were always going to be covering Tampa and Oaklawn on Saturday. We'll just add the races tomorrow. All right, we got NYRA Bets. Head over to NYRA Bets. If you're not a member of NYRA Bets, no better time than the present. Use the promo code MATCH200 and we'll match the $200 of your initial deposit. We have the Pick 6 carryover, $27,814, begins in race 3 of our 8-race card. Of course, by some chance that hasn't hit today, it will carry over into Sunday's card because we will be no live racing here the next 2 days. We have supposed to be like 50 on Sunday too. It's so bizarre.
That was a tough beat, by the way, that pick 6. I didn't realize the Bruce Levine horse was the horse that was covered.
Weird horse to be covered.
Yeah.
That is odd. Yeah, it's random. I know, tough beat. Yeah, they were. You're right. That horse looked like a winner.
14-month layoff, right?
Yeah.
Horse that got you. When the race was
Oh,
14 months.
she was also the favorite or co-favorite. I don't. Yeah. 10 times points in the Dubai Racing Carnival. I know Anthony and Kyle, our cameraman, his week is completely centered around getting ready.
Kyle's trying to win it. Kyle's complete focus this week is to win money at Dubai to buy
shoes.
The Biggie Air Jordans. And he's going to buy us. He said if he makes enough money at Dubai.
I can make a donation. How much are they, Kyle?
Probably about $2,200 a pair.
Are they really?
They're a limited edition. Yeah. So if I hit the pick 6 today, I'm going to buy a Kyle. If I hit the pick 6 and it's enough, I'm going to buy me and Kyle a couple of pairs of kicks.
$2,200 for a pair of sneakers. Okay. Anyhow, I'm aware that some sneakers are out there and they're worth lots of money. I'm not a complete moron. I'm a partial moron. Race number 1, there's going to be a heavily bet entry for Chad Brown and Clarvidge Stables, and they could run 1-2 in here, and I don't think it would surprise anybody.
No.
We'll take a look at the race that Systemic Change finished 3rd last time. That's the plain one, with Mystical Curlin winning the race, and Vodka Mardini, who didn't run that well, finishing 4th in a seal track. I thought the Systemic Change, who's actually, I think, the weaker half of the entry, they were betting the other half of the entry had run well first time out. I thought this horse ran very well, sort of behind horses. You see Making the Way has his ultra course right here to go to the outside. And this was just a weird race, Anthony, where a lot of horses didn't get on track, and you can sort of see it with Vodka Mardini, who ran well 3 back. My problem with Vodka Mardini is that his last race was bad. I don't really want any part of Vodka Mardini, though. I see you have him on top.
Yeah, I picked him on top. I thought maybe with I thought he was better with a little more ground. I liked his race off of the long layoff 3
Wait
back.
a second. He had the lead at 7 furlongs, saying a slow pace on a gold rail, and he fell apart. Why would he be better with more distance?
Well, he was just, American Law was just
0 for 8.
Yeah, I know, but he just sat right behind them on the same gold rail.
I know,
and just
but
went around them.
But you say he wants more distance, and it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, you didn't think his best race was? I thought his best race was his first race back.
That's fine. I don't have. Well, he was on a gold rail that day as well, so no, I'm a little dubious of this horse, to be honest with you.
Listen, that's fine. I thought his best race was his first race back. I wanted an
But then maybe he's getting worse
entry.
with every race. I mean, that's the other concern with him. As far as Predicted, who was in the race we just watched, who I picked on top, he's just a bit of a flyer for me on a horse I'm committed to betting a few dollars on. Not that I'm against the entry in any way, and I didn't see anybody else in here with a legitimate chance to win.
I mean, the wild card in here is the 4, right?
Okay, can I finish with Predicted,
Sure,
and then we'll move to 4? Okay,
I thought you were
okay,
done.
that's okay. Well, sounded like I was done. Anyway, I don't know what happened. He got bumped really hard to start last time. Eric basically just eased up on him. He was taken out of the race. He's a different horse than that. That was a good sealed track. I'm not big on sealed tracks. And this is a horse that's got races that make him fast enough to be competitive on the go back, and he's going to be a big price. And I don't think he had any chance last time to run. So at a big price, I'll use him. Let's finish the entry, and then we'll move on to the 4. As far as reserve currency, this horse finally came alive last time. It's funny, I'm glad he didn't win, to be honest with you, because I would have bet him. I had bet him 2 back. and I didn't think he had the best of trips that day. And he came back and ran second with an 80 buyer. That figure, though, I don't know. Others that came out of this race ran improved figures. The winner came back and ran 18 points worse after running 9 points worse the time before that. But others came back and ran well. He's dangerous too. I mean, this entry could easily. I think either one of these horses would be favored in here by themselves.
I like this part of the entry better than the one. I like this horse's last race. So, but I wanted to take a little.
Why do you like this one better than the one?
I like this horse's last race. I didn't really know what to do with the one's last race.
Oh, I thought he ran very well.
I know what you were saying about, kind of looked like he kind of. I thought he took to a track that some horses just didn't handle last time. Mystical Curlin ran that wild race where he had never run anything like that before.
Maybe he just ran well.
Maybe he did, but he's going to be
most
short
horses
enough
do,
price.
right? They run well or badly. It's not the track that's the biggest factor.
I didn't love his first race.
Now, what is it that we're supposed to be talking about?
Well,
about
this horse has a strange pedigree. He's a half to Neolithic and Travel Column, who are both Grade 1 winners on the dirt. Mm-hmm. Horse was purchased for $1.25 million. Debuted on the grass in the beginning of the turf season last year. Disappears for 10 months, working down at Payson Park, and shows up here in a maiden race 7 weeks before the wave of Christophe Clement horses make their way up from South Florida.
Okay.
You don't find that all to be very interesting?
No.
None of that interests you.
No, they spent a lot of money for a horse
In a
that
race
can't
where
run.
you picked a 10-to-1 shot,
But
because you were looking to take a flyer on a
No. You throw out the last race of the five. He's a major contender in here. He's running every bit as fast as a horse that you picked on top.
That's fine.
It's going to be a fraction price. I'm not taking a flyer. I'm not taking
Well, you said the word flyer. You said you were taking a flyer.
I'm taking a shot against trying to beat the
Right,
end.
but what I'm saying to you is, in a race where you're looking to do something a little outside the box, this horse doesn't interest you at all?
I'm not outside the box. I'm betting a horse that's got 3 races that make him a major contender. That last time out, I'm hoping that his last race can be dismissed.
Okay.
But I'm betting a horse that already has concrete evidence that he belongs in the field and he's going to be a big price in here. My flyer is to try to beat the entry, who are going to be extremely tough to beat. I don't know what's going on with the 4. I mean, Christophe knows the pedigree, and he ran the horse on the turf.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying
He took zero money that day, zero money in the beginning of April, and he cost $1.25 million.
None of it makes any sense.
He also stayed on the inside, which was the place to be. He did no running and showed
none
no
of it makes
ability.
any sense.
And the other thing about that dam is, she's got those 2 good foals. She's also got 4 that couldn't outrun you and I in a horseshoe.
Awful.
And it's beginning to look like she has 5. Now, okay, he ships the horse up here. I don't know. Who knows why he shipped the horse up here? It is strange that he shipped the horse up here, but I'm not betting because Christophe shipped the horse up here.
None of it makes any sense. This horse, I thought the horse was interesting enough where if there was a horse in the race you wanted at a price, this was the one I wanted.
Only 6
I'll
to
take
1
4
right.
versus 5 for a lunch.
Fine. We're down to 125. Yeah.
I don't know,
My guess the 4 isn't a thoroughbred, but okay.
You could very well be 100% right. I just thought it was, when I saw that, I was like, man, maybe this horse is going to scratch, maybe you fill the race. I have no idea. But he stayed in. He's here.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I just don't have any reason to believe that horse is any good. Race number 2. There really is absolutely no form whatsoever in this race to go on. I know that Homeschool has failed out of town. He hasn't done it too many times at short prices, though he did lose against arguably better horses, arguably. At Charlestown last time as the favorite, but generally his bigger prices. He's got too many figs faster than these Lincast ships up horses seem to run. So I ended up picking Homeschool, but I'm not going to endorse this horse, but I can't endorse anybody else in here. I'm not a Star Attitude fan. Picked him second, but my God, he was in an atrocious field last time. And you can say it was a wet track. He ran the same figure he runs all the time. But if the 1 doesn't run, he may be fast enough to win.
Yeah, I picked Second and Reed. Second and Reed was second last time, kind of by default. I don't know, getting back to a fast track. First time Lasix on a fast track last time. I don't know if the Lasix helped or not. It was a big field.
Ran the same race he ran in his prior 2 races.
Listen, one of these horses is going to get out of the maiden ranks today. I think it'll be the 1, 2, or 4, and I just picked the horse that was going to be the biggest price.
It's hard to be too excited about anybody in race number 2. There's no doubt about it. Race number 3, I mean, I guess the question in race number 3 is how you feel about Reed Kahn on the big drop down. I've got him second. You've got him on top.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, for the most part, Bronx Bomber's speed is fallen by the wayside, and Breaking Stone's speed is fallen by the wayside, and striking speed they don't really use anymore. Though striking speed was the interesting horse for me in here. Reed Kahn will probably get in front of these horses and forget to stop today on the big drop. Striking speed was the interesting horse for me. He's getting off 2 wet tracks. He's never really liked wet tracks in his career. He's getting on back onto dry ground. He's dropping in for this level for the first time on his card. I don't know. He's a little bit of a fuzzy. He's going to be probably going to be the biggest price on the board. I thought he was a little interesting in here, but if Reed Kahn remembers who he is, and he has enough races, I think, I don't want to say recently, but in the last few months, where if he just gets in front of these horses, maybe he forgets to stop today. But I think the only other horse I would want to mess around with him, and the only reason I want to mess around with him is because of his price, would be striking speed.
As far as Reed Kahn, I thought Reed Kahn ran very well last time, actually. It was his first start off a layoff. He was sent up into a ridiculous pace that fell apart. I know it was a 3-horse field with a horse he dueled with who ran 6th, I think, though he ran better than he did. Prisoner came back and won here in that 3-horse field, won convincingly. I don't love the drop down, though. I know they only claimed him for 20, but they are really trying to get one last race out of him. There's no doubt he's the horse to be. He's the speed. Nice to see this rider who came in from Turkey get a win before he leaves. I don't think he's staying a lot longer, but
no,
that
leaving
could
Sunday.
change.
I got to spend some time with him on Sunday upstairs. He's leaving Sunday, but I think there's a chance he's going to come for the full winter next year.
So he's the horse to beat, I thought, on the outside, and I'm not going to take Bronx Bomber, but listen, I won't be surprised if he shows more speed for Rudy and he runs better. He is a horse that kind of needs the lead, but he's just not a horse that's reliable, but obviously he can win. I think that Magnificent Chrome is the interesting other horse in here, so I picked him on top. We'll go back to last March when he actually won a race, but this was a horse that got very good last year for Randy Persaud, and he held that form for a long, long time. You look through, he ran nothing but races that compete. He ran against some better horses. Then the guy claims him, and he runs him against Happy Farm and Fire Sword and Cost Basis, and he runs in 2 spots where he has absolutely no chance. They give him a little bit of a freshening. He comes off the layup. I don't think he ran that badly last time, to be honest. He chased me, Tre Porciento, and he sort of fell apart a little bit, but he didn't run that badly. He's got those races that put him in the mix. He's second off a layoff, and I'm kind of hoping in a race where, listen, I hear you with the 1. It's not the worst points I've ever heard. I'm not going to, get in a soapbox for or against anybody, but I thought he'd be a bit of a price. And I think there's some, he may be sort of semi-damaged goods as well, but Breaking Stones has been atrocious in 3 straight races. I know he's dropping, but I don't know if he's competitive at all anymore. Bronx Bomber, it's hard to be overly excited by him. He was atrocious last time as well. So once again, all horses that could win, but I'm not afraid to take Magnificent Chrome. So while I think Reed Kahn's the horse to beat, I'll take Magnificent Chrome on top.
Starts to pick 6, by the way.
It does, $27,814 in the carryover. Thank you for that. Race number 4, we'll take a look at Smoke and Heat. First start when he finished second to Patient Capital. And he's dropping down out of that Celestial Moon race we showed last time where he broke a step slow and was stayed back to last in that race. I'm sorry. I'm not big on betting short-priced horses, but if he loses this race, I'm going to lose. I would single him in the pick 6. I don't know where else you're supposed to go. This is an atrocious field. And I'll tell you something else. I'm not a Mad Magic fan. I know he's the second likeliest winner in here, but he's going to win because the 1A just does not show up.
Yeah, what he said.
This was actually a good effort, this race by him. I'm not sure why they got so caught up on deciding he was a turf horse, mate, because he was a street boss. And he ran okay in some of those races, but I'm not sure he can't run in the dirt, this horse.
I'm not sure this entry can't run 1-2 in here either.
Well, they could. I don't really like the Merida Code, but I think Mad Magic is better. But yeah, I mean, the 1 is impossible. So you prefer the 1 though?
No,
the
it's an entry. It's the entry.
You should send it in though, so people know that you like the 1A. It's just, I think it's just a better look.
It was the whole entry.
But you like the 1A.
I would have picked 1 or 1A on top. I would have picked either one of them on top.
No, but you should. Which one do you prefer? I understand.
I don't care.
You don't care. Right?
Yeah, no, I would have picked. That's what I'm saying. If
well, the
one
1A is about 20 times likely to win as the 1.
If one of them scratched, I would have picked both. I would have picked the 1.
That's fine, but the 1A is about 20 times likely to win as the 1. If the 1 was, if they were not an entry, who would you have picked?
Oh, I probably would have taken a little swing with the 1.
Okay. So Anthony likes the 1. I like the 1A. I just want to be on paper and clear on that. We'll take a break. We'll be back for the late pick 4.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Race number 5, Andy, we're back. Second half of the card, pick 4. This is another race number 5. We'll show Anthony's pick, finishing second last time to Yogi, and you can talk about this horse.
Yeah, she was a lot more forward, 2 back, and I don't know,
Well, she's forward because there's no speed in the races. I mean, it's your position race has a lot to do with who you're running against, right?
I was going to say, they went so much quicker last time. They went a little quicker last time. They didn't go that much quicker. They went quicker last time. And I like the fact that she was able to be a little closer to the slower pace, show some because there is not much going on early in here. I guess Spooky Lady.
Spooky Lady's going to be in front.
I guess Spooky
Justin
Lady
Nyquist will
goes.
probably be second.
Spooky Lady dropping down.
Well, what do we like about Flattering Gal? That's what I'm trying to get.
Well, her last 2 figures, saved the race run by Justin Nyquist last time. I think if you're looking for the alternative to the favorite, and I think Justin Nyquist will be a short price in here.
Probably about 8 to 5, like our morning line, maybe 8 to 5, 6 to 5. But
I think she'll be much shorter than that.
no, not in this field. But okay, well maybe she will be. But regardless of that, okay, I didn't like her races. I mean, I do understand that she's the second likeliest winner based on the figures. I thought Justin Nyquist ran against much better horses last time out. She was also wide for a bit of the race, and you probably wanted to be on the rail that day. The rail was very good. The winner of that race, JD Advantage, who was a first-time starter, took advantage of being on the rail, and I thought Justin Nyquist was never really on the rail, probably worked against a little bit. Just may have found the right field to run against. The only reason I put Spooky Lady second here is I don't think this horse can run at all. I know she has back form, but might be in front. And in a field like this, I want to take the horse that's going to be in front as opposed to a horse like the 3, who I suppose is not impossible, but I don't know. I thought lost to some pretty mediocre horses in the last couple of starts. But Justin Nyquist, the likely favorite in race number 5. Race number 6. Race number 6. I'm going to show some of the last race that I think Drink the Wind was in, where Drink the Wind had a legitimate excuse last time out. We're going to show the star of the race, but this horse was really bumped between horses. You're seeing the horse, you can even tell in the pan that the horse is kind of bobbling a little bit, and the question is really what happened. It's always interesting to watch, and we'll sort of rush up after that, because Drink the Wind is a horse that has a lot of speed and could well have been much more forward in there, but this horse gets really buffeted about between horses and at a key moment early in the race. And while you can say he got up there and didn't get it done, I really believe that Drink the Wind lost the race at the start. Claimed by Linda out of the race. This horse has some back form. I'm not against Big Venezuela, who I bet last time and probably ran the best race of anybody and got way too aggressive a ride in a race that collapsed. But having said that, I thought this horse was a very interesting claim by Linda, and I thought she might do well with this horse.
The horse we're watching here ran Giant last time, because he was never even able to get into any kind of real contention until around 3/8 pole. Because his trouble was.
Well, you saw it, yeah.
Yeah. With that said, I think this is probably. I think Big Venezuela is better, and I think Buckingham Prince.
Well, let's show Big Venezuela's last race.
Okay. Yeah.
Why is he better?
I have no problem watching this. I think Big Venezuela probably ran against better horses last time. And I think he probably ran against, I think Blake B is probably a little better. I know the horses that he ran against earlier last year are better.
Well, but that was last year.
Well, I understand that, but I think in 2 of the 3 races he ran this year, I mean, the Total Impact bunch is probably better too, but he got beat up pole.
But he got beaten by Blake B also.
Yeah. I think Blake B is better than these horses that he's running against today. Than these horses?
I think most races that Blake B have run, he would get nothing in here. The race he ran that day would have won this race.
Okay.
The thing I think to like about Big Venezuela is that it was a bad ride by the Bud Boy last time. He was just way over aggressive. It was a wild, fast pace that absolutely collapsed. He still managed to get second with a much more judicious ride. He would have won last time, and I think he's a logical horse. But the problem with him is that last time was the time for him. He's going to be a short price today. I mean, as far as Buckingham Prince, it's kind of an unreliable horse.
But if he shows up, he brings the consistency to the table.
Well, but if he shows up, he runs races that make him a contender here. Nothing more. It's not like he has races that are so special. I mean, you say consistency. Yeah, he's consistently okay.
Right. But if he has a little improvement from 3 to 4, he gets a pair of blinkers, he's a fresh gelding, he gets a trainer change. I like the fact that they're protecting him now. I know the whole idea to claim a horse for 50 is not to run him back for 50 or less, and it is to protect him, but he does run him in the starter. I don't know. It is his first start against older horses.
He was claimed on August 3rd, beginning of Saratoga. Do you think Chris Englehart said,
No, not at all.
I'm looking at early February
obvious.
to get him back?
That's an obvious. That's
well, but you didn't even
not
say
what
that.
happened,
but you say it's
you
obvious.
didn't let me finish.
Yes,
Obviously,
I did. Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Obviously.
That's silly.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did, Anthony.
Obviously, he didn't.
Ridiculous.
Obviously, he didn't claim him to wait 6 months, but.
But I think that is the single most important
sometimes things
point.
goes wrong, and that's what you have to do. Yeah, of course it's an issue, but from the work tab, it doesn't really look like he's missed a beat since he's brought him back, and. You know,
I don't know if he was entered for 30 or not. He has been entered and scratched. He might have been entered cheap, or I don't remember. I'll see if somebody is going to text me and tell me. I know he was entered before and scratched. He's been vet scratched 4 times, which is not a great sign. I have a stat on Chris Englehart for what it's worth, and obviously he's a contender in this race. But I think of the horses taking money, he's probably the worst bet. Well, that's where we completely disagree. These kind of layoffs, Chris' numbers at Naira are not good. He's 4 for 40. He's 0 for 5 off the claim in this situation, though to be fair, 4 of them at the board, and it's not as though they've all been short prices. So they actually run okay. But overall, his layoff numbers in this situation not good. And for a horse that at best is just sort of a regular player and is going to be a short price, don't you think it's highly unlikely he's going to
he'll be
improve
the
his
third
form?
choice. I mean, what's he going to be?
I don't know. What price is he in the morning line? He's the
3 to 1.
co-second choice.
He won't be the same price as Drink to Win.
Why?
Drink to Win will be much shorter than him.
What? He
It's his
will?
first, of course he will.
Drink the Win was claimed out of a $40,000 non-winners at 2 lifetime. He's moving into starter allowance.
If
This
I
horse was
walked
claimed
into
at
the-
open 50,
if
so I don't know that you're
I
right.
walked into the paddock for any race today and Linda put a saddle on me. I'm no bigger than 5 to 1. Linda, this horse will be shorter than Drink the Wind will be shorter than Buckingham Prince.
Or he won't be. But David Aragona makes the morning line.
Would you like to bet a lunch?
Anthony, I want to talk about the race and not turn it into this kind of discussion.
Okay.
You're always making these absolutes that just
Andy,
aren't.
One horse is over 6-month layoff. The other horse is being trained by the leading trainer who's winning every race in sight.
They're both 3 to 1 morning line.
Okay.
They're probably going to be similar prices. I don't know for sure what price they're going to be, but I certainly wouldn't be talking about this race in absolutes. You make absolute statements here all the time, and they're just absolutely wrong. Stop it. They're both 3 to 1 on the line. One's going to be shorter than the other one. They're not both going to have exactly the same amount of money in the pool. I don't know what it's going to be, but I don't think there'll be that big a discrepancy in their prices.
I do. I think Drink the Wind will probably be the favorite.
Okay, next time David's out, I'll get you to do the line. I'm sure Craig would be very happy to get you to do the line. Definitely an easier job. I don't know who's going to be bigger, but I'm going to tell you, I would side with David over you, me, and everybody else in this joint.
Ordinarily, I would too.
But this time he's wrong.
Drink the Wind will be favored.
Will be.
He'll be shorter than Buckingham Prince.
You think he'll be shorter. It's not will be.
Okay.
You believe he will be. That's fine. But it's not an absolute. We had absolutes about lines recently that turned to be completely wrong. That's your opinion. Race number 7 got completely destroyed by scratches. This one got more than decimated. This one was reduced by 33% of the betting interests. And I don't know. It's really come down to whether or not you think Kinetic Sky, who I scratched into you liked anyway. We have a Linda stat, which is sort of irrelevant. We'll show, I don't know. Will we switch this one? We're going to show Kinetic Sky first, did I say? Thanks. Here's his race, 2 back winning. Linda's good, stretching out. He's supposed to be the speed in here. But don't you think that Weyes is going to go?
He's supposed to, and but here's the thing about this. Here's the thing on Thursday. This kid's been kind of aggressive with everything he's climbed the board. Now, forget about the sprint because the horse
Wait
is
a
not
second, we're talking
fast
about Kinetic
enough.
Sky. Which kid? We're talking about Kinetic Sky.
Wyatt's been aggressive.
This is Kinetic Sky.
And this horse did. This is Kinetic Scott. Okay, so this was Kendrick. Yeah, I mean, you think Warstopper should be the speed, or you think Kinetic Sky should be the speed?
Well, I think it's very close between the
Okay.
two of them, but I think with inside position that Weyes will probably go with Warstopper. I don't
See,
know.
and I think Empty Tomb will be the speed.
Oh, he could be. No, you're right. You know what? You're right. He will be the speed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I ignored him. You're absolutely right.
But
He
the
will
thing
be the
is,
speed. Thank you.
Warstopper should be more forward because this kid, Weyes has been sending this, and Warstopper, who used to be a front runner,
We'll show Warstopper's
they
left.
just haven't. I don't know if he's lost his early position speed. Forget about the race 2 back. He's never going to be able to go to the front going 3/4. But last time, I thought he wasn't it wasn't that he was far behind. I thought he'd be closer last time, and it didn't matter. I mean, he won by the length of he won by a 16th of
How
a mile.
much distance do you think will be between the 3, 5,
There
and 6?
shouldn't be much, right? A couple of lengths, if that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be much.
I think at the end of the day, what that means is the pace is really irrelevant.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter. And scratch down to a field of 5.
For betting interest.
Yeah, even with the outside draw of 5, I can't imagine Kinetic Sky is going to be that affected by the outside draw in here. I mean, if it's even we've seen it lately. Even if you're in the 7 hole, you get stuck 3-4 wide on that turn, you can lose enough ground. But it shouldn't affect Kinetic Sky.
I don't really think it's possible.
He's just
that,
in good form.
that this. Yeah, I don't think it's possible that this speed is going to have
I
any
mean,
way
this
of
looked like a
affecting it.
horse when Linda claimed this horse. I thought it was a little bit of a questionable claim. It's been a fantastic claim. She's done nothing but earn money with this horse. He won. He got beat on nose.
The problem with him is that the 98 buyer 2-back sticks out like a sore thumb, and what he really is a mid to high 80s buyer, which is fine. The race that Warstopper ran last time would probably beat him. I'm coin flipping between the two. I could have gone 3-6. I went 6-3. I don't have a strong opinion. I feel like one of these two is going to win. Empty Tomb's recent form is not good enough, and I think one of them will catch him. And Southern District doesn't really want a mile and 1/8 here, especially in a paceless race. And I know that race came up fast on figures last time. That was an atrocious field he was running against. And I really don't think he wants to finish. He got out-finished by a horse he passed last time, going to mile 16th. And Treasure Trove just doesn't really look quite as good enough, but it is Lynn Cash. And I'm never surprised when these horses outperform or underperform. I just don't really know what they're going to do. Race number 8. I thought race number 8 was kind of an interesting race. I thought there was some possibilities. This is one I was surprised in the line on. I was surprised that David had Fancy Azteca as high as he did, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll show him first. I had thought he'd make him the favorite. I actually sent these out before I saw the lines. I don't want any part of this horse. I thought he beat a terrible field on a gold rail that just there was just nobody behind him. But at 5-1, I wouldn't really knock somebody for liking him in here because there's nobody really any good in here, and he could run okay for Linda, and she's good off short rest.
So Scott, like you said, the inside was good, pretty easy lead, right? He was just off the pace, but he was kind of in front the whole way.
He was on a gold rail.
He was alternating on the lead, never lost his position, and he beat a horse that was one of the worst favorites in the history of Naira. And now there's no chance she can see the lead over Lady Shylock from the rail. You'd imagine there's no chance she could see the lead. That horse is just flat out faster than her. Even Bustin' Hot's faster.
Even Maggie T is fast.
Yeah, even Maggie T's probably faster. You're right.
We'll show your pick here, Lady Shylock.
Yeah, kind of. Falcone kind of got away with one here. Philly ran well on the slot back in November. She kind of galloped home. Maybe you could say it was the sloppy sealed track. She got to the front and just kept going. She didn't beat much at all. You could argue that as well. But she ran a fig that if she can move that to the fast track, she's probably gonna win today.
This was a track that, when it got sloppy and sealed, turned into a very, very heavily speed favorite. It made it hard for horses to make up ground. And I think you see the price of the horse at 12-1, and when horses, and this is a smart barn, surprise smart barns, and the tracks are conducive to their running styles, I think there's a good chance that the track had a lot to do with the victory. I'm never going to bet a horse like this, but you're not wrong. Ran a figure that would make the horse tough to beat in here, so I'm not going to disagree with that. I just want to see it again, especially at a much, much shorter price in here, but I'm not going to say it's impossible. I just preferred others in here. I wanted to use 2. I want to use Bustin' Hot. I love that Linda's running back fast with this horse. 1 to 7 days in dirt sprints, she's 3 for 10 with a 331 ROI. So she's had horses come back on short rest that come back and do well. I know this horse didn't beat much last time out, but I like the fact that she's coming back quickly with a horse that maybe could improve. But I'm going to bet Pebble Lane. I'm going to take the Schosberg to David Duggan switch on a horse that maybe has a little bit of upside, and I'm going to hope improves for David off the trainer change. It's no more than that.
I'll tell you the other horse that I thought might be okay, and I don't know what kind of price. This is a strange board. I think this will be. I don't know how this is going to shake out. Bella Michelle. She's run a half a dozen times. First 2 races were against special weights. One at Saratoga, one here at Aqueduct at the Belmont at the Big A meet. Then tried turf. Then caught the sloppy track behind Lady Shylock. She was favored that day. Then he ran on a fast track. I don't know where that figure came from, but if you believe
He's
that
inaccurate
figure,
if you look at the other horses in the race.
Yeah,
look
well,
at
there
the
you go
horses.
then. And then
They
it
have no
came back on the
currency,
sloppy
it's no
track. But if that if the fig held up, she ran up the second fastest race in the race, and I don't know.
Okay. All right.
It was a little interesting.
See what happens. Race number 8 is one of the more wide open races on today's card. An 8-race card with a pick 6 carryover. Best way to play is to play through Naira Bets. Head on over to Naira Bets. Use the promo code MATCH200. We will match the $200 of your initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets. We've got a carryover, $27,814. Starts in race number 3 of our 8-race card. We've got a 10 times points on Dubai Racing Carnival. Now, are you calling it Yonkers tomorrow night? Is that Friday night thing?
No.
Maybe they cancel.
Next week or the week after.
There you go. But you're not going to the Dubai Racing Carnival either. but Kyle's going to be
It's hard to drive to Dubai, Andy.
sending it in, yeah, and it's a long drive. We're done. Chris Griffin up next, Reprise Scratch and Changes. I'll be coming up for some races for Prowls between races. Don't know if Maggie's here or not, but if she is,
I prattled the Yonkers a little bit.
There you go.
Did 3 races up there.
all right.
I'll be doing that occasionally.
Well, I will be looking forward to your next trip. I will tune in to that. Hopefully I won't be dying the next time it happens.
That would help.
Yes, we're done. Day's just getting started. Chris Griffin coming up next, Scratches and Changes.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.